Okay.
All right, you ready?
Okay, let's go.
All right, Graeme, I'm so excited to have you here. I'm so excited to have you here because, global is a passion of mine, and I'm so glad you're here. And I know it is a passion of yours also. I'm going to ask you two questions. The first is, what got you being involved in the association in global?
Well, Lee, thanks very much for inviting me. I'm excited to be here too. I love global. And, I packed up my bags in New Zealand and I flew to America. I walked into my first brokerage here and my manager said to me, you're from out of the country. You need to do something international. And we have an international designation that you could go for. And I thought to myself, well, that's a no-brainer. Why wouldn't I? So I looked it up online with LVR, and I found there was a CIPS course, which is a Certified International Property Specialist course. And I thought, that's me. I'm going to take that because I'm international. I'm from New Zealand. So
I thought you were from New York.
Well, with this accent, I could be from anywhere.
That's right.
So I decided that I would take that course, and the rest is history. It was fabulous.
Absolutely. And I don't think people realize how much global business is really being done in Las Vegas.
A tremendous amount of international business has been done here. It runs into the billions of dollars, and there is international people buying and trading in Las Vegas every day of the week. It's phenomenal.
Can you explain to us how global could help local realtors in Las Vegas
make more money?
Well, yes, the thing about being able to work with international clients is understanding where they're coming from, because when you're in Las Vegas, you think that real estate is done one way,
right?
And that's the way we do it here. It's the only way it's done here. It's not done this way anywhere else in the world. And so we have people coming from all different countries who have been brought up with different systems of doing real estate. And if you can kind of understand where they're coming from, or even just bear with them and let them
learn,
spell it out, what frustrations they're up against and what challenges they have, you will just make a lot of money out of it.
So I could tell you, I have a buyer that bought numerous homes from me in Las Vegas, and he wanted to buy a home in Mexico. So he reached out to me because I'm his source of information. And I reached out to the past chair, which is Michael. He gave me an agent in Mexico, and without me leaving my seat, I made thousands of dollars by getting a top agent in Mexico through a referral.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's how we do it too. We have a network of people with this designation and worldwide.
Yeah. And we're doing that
important.
And we're doing that designation soon.
Yes.
We're splitting it up into 3 different classes, because now there's 6 classes. So 2 1 month and a couple months, and another 2, and then another 2.
You guys just took some big vacation, didn't you? A little travel business.
Well, I'm traveling most of the time anyway. I'm traveling New Zealand, Europe, and...
But I mean through global.
Oh, through global. We did a trade mission to Mexico last year, and we have a trade mission coming up this year to Portugal.
Let's talk about that and the date.
Well, this is near the end of the year, around October, November. But you got to remember that when we do a trade mission, we go to countries where it is top of people's minds, And at the moment, Portugal is a major factor with the U.S. with trade both ways with real estate. So it makes sense to go to Portugal.
Well, and I just read the place to number 1 or number 2 in the world to retire, if you're an American, is in Portugal. $2,500 a month, you can live pretty solid in Portugal. So that's pretty exciting.
It is at the moment. Yeah.
I just went with your co-chair, Rena Levy, to a global event, and I met the top agents from all over the country, and we were referring. And that's something very important that you guys bring to global as well.
Yeah.
So we want you to kind of describe the global committee. I mean, there's so many amazing benefits by coming to your open committee. And is it also on Zoom?
Yes, it is also on Zoom, and you can Zoom in from anywhere in the world. We have people Zooming in all around the world to our meetings. But we do referrals as real estate agents in the US. We do referrals state to state. Well, we do it country to country, and we do it worldwide. So we have a network of people who have the designation, who have that specialty to be able to deal with international clients, and we just have it worldwide. So whenever if you need a referral in the UK or Italy or South Africa or anywhere, you just look up on our directory. We have people everywhere.
Absolutely.
Who can do it. So.
In fact, for all of you that are really interested in getting to know just a tad of what he knows about international business, there is a book called Kiss, Bow, and Shake Hands.
Yes, excellent book.
It's an amazing book,
Excellent.
Especially for people like myself that you maybe not have visited that culture before and you don't know the nuances of that culture. You can look up the nuances of that culture and make sure that you're not disrespectful because, you're the way you cross your legs, all those different things where you show your heel or something to people. Bowing. All those things are so important to make sure that you are culturally acceptable to that other party. You meet them at the airport here, know how to be a good citizen, and that's really good.
I'm going to tell you that I've been part of Global for the past couple of years, and it's probably my favorite committee that I can't travel to because I'm learning so much being the president-elect that every time you guys travel, it's during one of our executive meetings or our board meetings. But as soon as I'm past my past presidency, I'm definitely going on a trip with you guys because it's a.
So I'm going to let her run the meeting, and I'm going to go. I'm going to go to it because I'll be the dusting. I'll be the duster.
But I mean,
I did have another question for you. I didn't mean to get you off subject, but what does it mean for you to be the chair?
I've
been the chair before. I want people to know you've done this before.
Yeah, I love Global. Global is in my blood, and because I've traveled a lot and done a lot of international travel, Global to me, being the chair of Global, it means that I'm responsible to help all these people further their knowledge of getting familiar with the international scene, getting familiar with international people, understanding their culture, their idiosyncrasies, everything about them. And I feel a great responsibility that it's up to me to ensure that I deliver value to these people when they come to our meetings, that we have content that's valuable to them, instruction and counsel that will help them when they intermingle with international clients, whether it be here in the US or whether they're on a trade mission, or even whether they're at the airport on holiday. Just being able to start up a conversation with someone from a different culture and not offend them.
Absolutely. It's huge.
He reminds me of you, Lee. This is his second time being the chair. This is your second time being the president.
No,
we have a habit of.
No, we keep coming back.
The best keep
coming up.
The best keep popping up.
So, you've mentioned the trade mission a couple of times, and for our members that don't understand what a trade mission is, would you go into a little detail on what a trade mission is?
Yeah, for a trade mission, we choose a country that is actually trading with the US, where people from the US can invest in that country and vice versa, trade both ways. And then once we identify the country, we set up a trade mission. I set up a trade mission for New Zealand. And in that process, I contacted all the identities that I knew in the government down there, in the councils, in the regions, and actually in the real estate agencies in the country as well, because they are very valuable. And so from that, we managed to set up a tour. And this is what goes for the other countries that we travel to as well. We do pretty much the same thing. We set up a whole itinerary with help from the government and regional supporters, and we get down there and we tour different properties, different real estate properties. We get educated. We have seminars where people come in and talk to us about their products. The real estate, how the real estate works in that country. We also get benefits out of it by the contacts we make. And there's so many contacts to be made when you're on a trade mission, because when you're in a group, it's like you're in numbers. Strength comes in numbers.
Amen. Yeah.
And people identify with you, and we've found that when we go to countries, people want to know us. They want to be involved with us because of the support network that we have. But trade missions are very valuable.
And that's why you try to do one every year.
Yeah.
Those dates one more time for the trade mission.
I think it's planned at the end of October.
Yeah, he doesn't, because it's flexible.
It's flexible at the moment, but it looks like it's the end of October, which will be perfect.
And I believe your first meeting, you gave us a few countries that your committee got to choose where they wanted to go.
Yes, well, this is usually what we do. We put up a few countries of where people might like to go, and then we vote on it to see which is the popular one. Well, as it stands at the moment, Nevada Global Business are doing a trade mission to Portugal, and that was one of the countries on our list anyway. And we thought, well, hey, hang on, Portugal is probably at the top of the countries at the moment of where people are investing in from the US. So why not we join with them and make this a really big, successful trade mission?
That's great.
Yeah. And we have, well, talking about trade missions, we have almost a virtual trade mission where our specialist on Mexico, Michael Ring, is going to talk us through how to invest in Mexico. So if we have clients now or in the future that want to invest, live, or even buy or sell in Mexico, he's going to give us all the information for there, because there is a big trend of Americans heading down to Mexico to live there, probably more the retirement age group and a few investors.
I have a lot of veterans that just sold their home with me and that are moving to Mexico or already have. That's why I did reach out to Michael.
Mm. Yeah, it's a popular place, and it's it's a resort style.
Right, it's a different lifestyle.
Yeah. I like the busyness of Las Vegas.
You're kidding! I can't believe it. I was gonna compliment you on your tie. I haven't seen a bolo in such a long time. I was going to ask if I could buy it, but it's so sharp. It's a silver one. I'm sure I can't afford it. But when you think of members that they hear about global, and I think sometimes they say, how can that affect me to get more business? How you talked about CIPS, which that's the wrong way to say it, but CIPS. You talked about that and the importance of that class, and that's why we staggered that class this year, so that it usually is 5, and then now they have Africa they've added to it, so it's 6 classes, and so we staggered it 2 classes so people can catch up with it. Even if this year they don't get part of it, they can catch up with it. What did those classes do to help you, even though you're already aware of international business? What did those classes do to help you get better at your business?
Yeah, good question, Lee. It's like I said at the first meeting, with Global, I haven't come along here with a suitcase full of listings.
Right.
There's no magic formula. It's just like real estate everywhere. There's no magic formula, and we don't have a crystal ball. But if you do the right things, if you do the right disciplines, the business will come. And to answer your question, when you're dealing with these people, by having that experience and getting the designation and understanding how to communicate with these people, it makes all the difference, because it puts them at ease, and then it enables them to trust you with a transaction. And that's what I've found, especially in other countries, is being able to kind of talk their language,
Absolutely.
I suppose. And the moment you do that, you kind of bring their confidence in.
You break the ice.
Yeah, you break the ice, and then you're able to do the business. And these people want to do business.
And multiple times.
Yeah. These people are ready to do business. They're just looking for the right connection. And you know what it's like in life. The moment you find someone you actually click with, you're ready to go with them,
Absolutely.
Amen.
But it's doing that course. That course is so important. That's Certified International Property Specialist course that you're putting on here at LVR is so important because it takes away the things that people are just not aware of.
Absolutely. When you were talking, I was thinking about knowledge trumps experience.
Yeah.
So if I don't have experience, then if I get the knowledge, I'm almost there because then the experience is easier for me and it's not as harsh, and I don't have this frustration of not understanding the transfer of money. One of the courses, most of the course, we go into transfer of money, like down to pesos versus American dollars, and what's that mean? And some people might delay sometimes in closing because the money has changed. The UK, the pound has changed, or something has changed so dramatically that they say it's going to cost me $20,000 in American money. Can we hold off a couple of weeks until the money stabilizes a little bit? So I agree.
Yeah, and the other thing you have to understand is that only 20% of Americans have a passport. So there's 80% of Americans.
Oh my God, seriously?
Have never traveled.
There he goes, writing that down.
80% of Americans haven't traveled worldwide.
Wow.
So, to them, meeting, say, someone from China or from Italy or from South Africa or New Zealand, they're probably just going to treat them like an American. And that's where the trap is. And, in my past life, I've done a lot of business in China and around Asia and South Africa and Australia. And just knowing how to get on with these people is the whole secret to it.
And that's about that. That's just like the book you were talking about, Leo.
Yeah, the book is perfect for that. And this course, the CIPS course, helps you with that. It just opens up your mind. There is a world out there,
Absolutely.
It's not just
Lee, do we have the date for CIPS yet or no?
We do. And what we'll do is we'll put those, because we're going to have to translate what you said anyway at the bottom. So
that's what they do about me with my New York accent.
So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put the dates at the bottom. And
could you put them in New Zealand as well?
Yeah.
Lee, could he look at the camera and tell everyone about the global meeting that's coming up in like a week?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Invite everyone.
Well, if you're interested in global, if you have one little bit of interest in global, you must be at our meetings.
Or making money without leaving your office.
Wow. By coming to the meetings, this is what you're going to find out, is how to make money without leaving your office, or how to make money by leaving your office and getting out there and dealing with international clients. But just look at the whole picture and think to yourself, am I interested in global? Yes, I'm interested in global. Right. I have to go to these meetings. They're on the third Wednesday of the month at 10 a.m. at LVR, and they are so valuable because what you will find is you may not come to the meeting and pick up a listing out of the air, but you will get the information and the source of the source as to how to get these listings and to how to deal with people from international countries that are wanting to do business with Americans.
Absolutely. In fact, you answered my last question, Graeme. And my last question was if you could give a piece of advice on getting involved, and you just did that. So we sure appreciate you.
And it's a fun committee. And a couple of months ago, they brought potlucks and everyone from every different country made a dish from that country. Was I there.
Why she came.
That is why.
For food.
Yes.
Graeme, thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Thanks
for being here with us. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks again.